for 3 years. This little town was home. It's been a long time since I last came back. Hi, I'm Momo. Today, I'm bringing my roommate back to the first town I lived in after moving to this city.
天气好好啊！对，以前我上下班都是开这条路，然后早上的时候也是蓝天白云很漂亮，然后下班的时候就是夕阳的，伴随着夕阳。
It's only about a 30-minute drive away, but I haven't really come back in a long time.
美景美人，你今天是公主风格啊？
那你呢？
我是什么风格？我是朋克风格。快要到了，今天我就带你来看一下我生活了3年的地方。
好。
我们从森林进入了小镇上。这里就不太好开车了，
慢一点。
When I first moved here, I rented an apartment in this town for 3 years.
这是我以前住的地方，叫江南花苑。
The rent was about 800 yuan a month. Back then, most of my life was very simple. I went to work, came home, and did the same thing again the next day.
这里停不了了，以前我就停这里。
都是土，
担心鞋子会脏耶。
但是又没其他地方可以停。
天哪，这里怎么变成这样子了？
那里有个位置。
哇，这里变了好多啊！你看以前这一边，然后这里全都是停车位。这个是个幼儿园。那边就是我住的地方，我住在6楼，然后每天爬楼梯上去。
哇，这么高！
对，就在这里，在那边。
Back then, my commute took about 30 minutes. That's actually why I bought this car. At the time, it felt like a huge expense. And honestly, I'm still making the monthly payments now.
这个就是我以前住的地方，一个月是100美元，然后快递都是扔在这一边的，所以有的时候会拿错这里面的水。我就丢过一次快递，现在好像比以前更旧了，你知道吗？
This is the apartment complex where I used to live. A lot of things look smaller than I remember, but some things haven't changed at all.
不上去了吧？
嗯。
现在房子已经租不出去了。
嗯。
觉得我的旧房子怎么样？
感觉很有故事感，也就是很有年代感的感觉，跟现在新城那边感觉差好多，
对吧？
对，
完全不一样的风格。
My roommate was working in Xiamen back then. We already knew each other. We were university roommates many years ago. We just happened to be living in different cities at the time. Walking around here again feels a little strange. For a long time, this was just home. I never thought much about it when I lived here. But now that I'm back, I find myself looking at everything a little differently. After leaving the apartment complex, we decided to walk around town. I wanted to see what had changed and what hadn't. One thing I always liked about this town is that people spend a lot of time outside. People walk their dogs, chat with neighbors, play chess by the roadside, or simply sit outside and watch the day go by. I used to see scenes like this all the time. Back then, I barely paid attention. Now I find myself stopping to watch. Maybe because I'm older, or maybe because I know these moments don't stay the same forever. This town isn't famous. There aren't any tourist attractions. Most people probably wouldn't come here on purpose. But I spent 3 years of my life here, so every street feels familiar somehow. Some places still look exactly the way I remember. But there are definitely more restaurants now. I don't remember this many food shops when I lived here. Maybe people have more choices now than they did back then. After walking around for a while, we bought 2 sugar-free lemon drinks. It was warmer than we expected today. Then we headed to one of my favorite restaurants.
吃这个，走。
Whenever I came back to this town, this was usually where I ate.
有一个香辣酸汤辣猪脚火锅。
那我们就吃那一个吧。老板，我们香辣酸汤辣猪脚火锅。
The restaurant looked almost exactly the same.
这个是什么？
玉米饭。
玉米饭。
我烤松了，你才好看。
这个是你们那边的特产是吗？
对。
哦，那我们等一下也试一点点吧。
就
还是生的。
生的
哦，那算了，那不用，我们就吃米饭。 谢谢。我不要那个。
你不要。
嗯。要喝点汤吗？先不给你夹肉啊，你自己夹。
好。
够不？
够了。
以前很喜欢吃这一家。对，很开胃。
是不是辣？辣？
还好。
锅里面辣？
不会，还好。
是不是香一点点？
你们这个还是那么好吃。
还是以前那个味道。
对，专门回来吃的。好，谢谢。还有放泡椒。这是萝卜。
The soup was still bubbling. The owner was still busy. And the pickled radish still tasted exactly the way I remembered.
酸酸脆脆的。
It's funny how some flavors never seem to change. By the time we finished eating, the sky was already getting dark.
天都黑了。
The town felt different at night. A little quieter, a little softer.
鸡腿。
绝妙好味道源自精选好食材，多味香辛料，再经过匠心。
眼睛好漂亮啊！这个要不要？
好，
一人一个。
一个就够了吧？还有别的？
还想吃什么？
可以。
牛角包是不是？哦，不是可颂。
那个应该跟旁边那个很像吧，只是那个切开了吧？
这个很像豆包脆脆的。
来一个。
一个吗？还是两个？
一个。
两个8.9块。
哦，两个。
嗯。
那行吧。一个4块9。我总怕太多了。
够了吗？
够，268。
在那儿了。我的汽车过来。
这边就没有那么热闹了。
对，人变少了。
刚刚那边是 CBD， 然后这边的话就是通往居住的地方吧。这好像那边有人在钓鱼。
People were still outside, walking, fishing, talking, enjoying the cooler air by the river.
夏天都是这样，在外面乘凉，
确实
然后散步。
I used to walk around here after work sometimes. Back then, I was usually thinking about work the next day. I never imagined I'd come back years later just to walk around and look at everything again. The town feels smaller than I remember, but somehow it also feels warmer. Maybe that's because I'm no longer rushing anywhere. Maybe that's because I'm seeing it with different eyes now.
刘海，
狗啃的样。
安静的夜晚。
对，好幸福。
Eventually, it was time to head home. The roads were much quieter than before.
烧烤研究院。
右转进入文心路。
心灵鸡汤。
And I found myself looking out the window a little more than usual. Maybe because I wasn't sure when I'd come back again.
你看，现在这条路变得这么黑了。我们下午来的时候还是很亮的哦。这是另一种感觉了。
仙居。
我还蛮喜欢之前住在这里的。
要不是上班比较远啊。
但是很有生活的气息，然后以前同事啊，好多都在这，日哥他们都在这嘛。
他现在也不在了吧？
都不在了。吃饱了我就困了。你说猪猪会不会想我们？
保持直行，所有车道
能不能给他吃零食？
零食已经戒了好几天了。
还要3天吧？
哎，戒了几天了？我都忘记了。
应该戒4天，从上周3、周1清来的那天开始的。
等过几天再给他吃。
On the drive home, we started wondering what Piggy was doing. Was she sleeping, looking out the window, or waiting by the door?
直行过当前红绿灯，随后250米右转。目的地可以步行前往，您可点击图面上方按钮进入步行导航。
这边跟刚刚那里真的差好多。
对，比较城市化。
空，比较空。都在门口等我们呢。宝宝，你在等我们呀？
现在他也有偶像包袱了。
他的脚好搞笑。哈哈。小公主，小公主，啊，好可爱。
When we finally got home, we got our answer. She was already there, curious as always, ready to inspect everything we brought back.
你想我们了。
小本。
想去哪里？想我们了没有？想我们了没有？想我们了吧？小胖猫，小胖猫。
When I lived here, I always thought I would move somewhere better. One day and eventually I did. But coming back today made me realize something. I was actually pretty happy here too. After all these years. That's the part I didn't expect to remember. And of course, it's always nice coming home to Piggy.
哇哦，宝宝。